Hi everyone, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Windows file types. If you're on the Mac, we may have to have a discussion because I'm not very familiar with how Mac filing systems work. But this could be a little confusing, so fasten your seatbelt, and I want to reassure you that if everything in Alice is working okay, if you're not having any problems, then you may not need to understand all this stuff. But for those of you who are curious or who may be having problems, you're my audience. So, I have a folder here that I'm going to use to demonstrate some of these issues. Right now I have a couple of Word documents in it. I have Alice running over here. I'm going to create a very simple project. Throw the rabbit in there. And have it say hello. And that's it. That's all I care about. So I'm going to save this world project now. And I'm going to look for that folder that I'm using for this video. Here we go. Come on. There we go. And I'll just call this hello. And save it. Well, let's take a look at what we saved. When you save an Alice file, a world file, it has a .a2w extension, and it also creates a folder which contain backups of this. So if you make a mistake and say, I've ruined it, you can go back into this folder and find previous copies. I don't know how many it keeps. That may be a settable parameter, but I'm not really concerned about that right now. Let me show you one other thing while we're at it, and I'm going to save a copy of this object as well. I do that by saying right-click on the bunny here. The bunny is what I want to save. Save object, and let's find that folder again. And it gives me a default name for the object file after the object's name, and that's fine. We'll save it. And notice that the object is not backed up. So we have two types of Alice files, the A2W file for world files and the A2C files for objects. I don't know why it has that particular abbreviation. I'm not sure what the C stands for. Okay, since Alice cannot be installed, your computer is not aware of Alice files. Normally, for regular programs, you install them into your Windows system, and Windows is aware of the file types. And so all you have to do to open a file is double-click it. For this Word document here, I don't need to have Word running. You can see by the icon that Windows recognizes this as a Word document. So if I double-click it, Word will start, and the document opens up, and I'm good to go. No problem. But if I try that with one of these Alice files, okay, I just switched over to Windows 7, so I'm not always sure what to expect. But I'm double-clicking. Here we go. It says Windows can't open this file. This is a fancy way of saying I don't know what kind of file this is. Now, if I wanted to pursue this dialog, maybe I could finally find Alice and run it, but it's not worth the trouble. The message, the moral of the story here is that if you want to run an Alice file, you have to first start Alice. And let's clear this. Okay, here's a new world. Now if I want the bunny world back, I have to say File, Open World, and then look for it inside the Alice menu dialog. And there it is. I can click on it and open it, and I'm good to go. Okay, at this point I'm going to get a little trickier and show you something about the Windows File Explorer. If we go to Tools and Folder Options and click on the View tab here, there's one checkbox I want to call your attention to, and this is the one that says Hide Extensions for Known File Types. Windows, when you install it, has this enabled by default. I hate this, frankly, and I always disable it. But let me check this box to show you the effect it has. Notice that these Word files here no longer have the .doc extension. So what this is saying is anytime Windows recognizes this file type extension, it's going to hide it from you. As though, and I'm going to get sarcastic here, as though you'd be overwhelmed by this information. Notice it is not hiding the Alice file extensions, A2W and A2C here, because it doesn't know about them. This will, I'm going to bring up an issue in a few minutes in which you will care about this. So unless someone's going to yell at you because the computer doesn't belong to you or whatever, I really highly recommend opening Tools, Folder Options, View, and disable this, what I think of as a rather busybody option. Oh, I'm pointing to the wrong one. Hide extensions for known file types. Unclick that, click OK, and now you see the full file name. You have full information here. Okay, since I want to put these on YouTube and YouTube has a 10-minute limit, I'm going to call this the end of part 1, and I'll come back in part 2 and talk about zip files.